Beep beep, everybody. In prior videos, I showcased highlights from the 1974 Topps and 1978 Topps sets. And today we're going to do the 1979 Topps set, which I bought in the early 90s as a complete hand collated set. And we're going to go through highlights of that set. It's not going to be every card, it's just going to be enough to give you an idea what the set's like. Boops. Nathan the Gnome says hi. Our plastic purple toilet says hi. Cal Ripken with his pillows and his earbuds say hi. And on his earbuds, he is listening to this album by a group called Olive Mess. And the album is called Gramercy. I'm sure Cal, if he saw this video, would beg to differ, but it's my video, and Cal gets to listen to whatever I think Cal's listening to. Well, let's get right into this. This is what they look like. This is Hall of Famer Jim Rice, and starting players in the All-Star game had this banner across the bottom. When you weren't in there, this banner is missing, and they come in two different colors, and I'll show you the National League one as we go on. The backs of the cards look like this. It's got black text with green, sort of a darkish green. It's a little lighter in here, but a darker green there. And like older cards, centering is an issue on these. Sometimes you'll find printing orbs or printing lines on them. Because this is a hand collated set, there's a good chance that not every card in there is. My phone's trying to tell me something. Okay. There may be some corner dings, things of that nature. There is one major card in this set that isn't the greatest of shape, and I'll apologize for that now, but you'll see what I mean when we get to it. I'm going to leave probably the best cards last, so we're going to go through them, and there'll be a nice selection of Hall of Famers, stars, good players that weren't quite up to star level but had good careers, and a number of the subsets that are in the collection. So here we have Raleigh Fingers, and there's a good example of centering issues with this set. But that's a pretty good photo of him with his handlebar mustache. And here's Hall of Famer Jim Palmer with the All-Star banner across the bottom. And Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry when he was with the Padres. Hall of Famer Carl Yastrzemski. This is Bob Welch's rookie card. I don't know if anyone remembers Bob Welch, but he had a pretty decent career as a pitcher. He is most notable for having a 27-win season when he was with the A's later on in the 80s. He did not have any other 20-win seasons in his career, I believe, but he didn't quite make Hall of Fame numbers. But he did have a pretty decent career, and that is his rookie card. This is the last card of Thurman Munson, who sadly passed away from an airplane accident. Wish they'd put him in the Hall of Fame because he did have a really good career. Hall of Famer Burt Blyleven when he was with the Buccos. This is Ray Knight's second-year card. And Willie Wilson's rookie card. Willie was a pretty decent hitter. He didn't have power. He was a pretty good fielder, but he had a lot of speed and he hit a lot of triples. Lots and lots of triples. One season he had 21 triples. And I do think he topped stolen bases with over 81 season. I don't know how many he finished with them. I'm pretty sure he had well over 500 career steals in his career. There's Keith Hernandez. Jim Catfish Hunter, and this is his last Topps card during his active career. Carlton Fisk. Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson. Hall of Famer Lou Brock, and this is Lou Brock's last Topps card during his active career. Don Baylor, who has a really nice smile. Leading fireman, that's Hall of Famers Rich Gossage and Raleigh Fingers. I don't believe I have every one of these leaders cards in the highlights here. Victory leaders, that's Ron Guidry and Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry. I think there could be a good case for Ron Guidry being in the Hall of Fame. Runs batted in, Jim Rice and George Foster. George Foster's a bit on the edge. I don't know if he's Hall of Fame worthy, but he certainly had a great career. And here they are both again, home run leaders. And they were the home run leaders the previous year before. And there's strikeout leaders, Nolan Ryan and J.R. Richard. And J.R. Richard unfortunately suffered from heart problems, and it curtailed his career, and he would have been probably in the Hall of Fame if it wasn't for that problem he had. Batting leaders, Rod Carew and Dave Parker, and they were both the batting leaders the previous year. But of note, okay, these are 78 batting leaders. The previous year, Carew hit 388. Mark Fidrich. This is Rick Honeycutt's rookie card. A long-time starter. Had some good years, had some bad years. Played a long time. Did a lot of middle relief later on in his career. And George Foster, and this is what the National League All-Star banner looks. It's a different color than the AL one. And there's Hall of Famer Phil Niekro. Oh, and I forgot to mention that this also, like the 78 set, had 726 cards, and because of the nature of the printing sheets, 726 didn't quite fit on them exactly like the 660 card sets prior to 1978, and thus there are double printed cards in the set to fill in those sheets. And I couldn't tell you any notable ones because I can't remember. This is Bob Horner's rookie card. Bob Horner was a notable power hitter for the Braves. His career only lasted, I think, 9 or 10 years, though. But he put up pretty good slugging averages for the time period. And I believe Bob Horner was in the Little League World Series back when he was a youth. Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins. Hall of Famer Gary Carter. Here's Jack Clark, looking like he's almost got a unibrow going on there. Ron Guidry. Hall of Famer Tony Perez. And they had a series of prospects cards, and unlike the 78 and 77 and 75 and 74 sets that all had 4 players on them, they went back to 3 players. And strangely enough, all of these 3-player prospect cards are in black and white. I don't know the reason behind that. They look good though. This one is Terry Kennedy's rookie card, who was better known for his career with the Padres as a catcher. He made a couple All-Star games and had a decent career. This is Lonnie Smith's rookie card, who, if it wasn't for bouncing around from team to team and platooning a lot, if they could have let him play all the time, he could have possibly been a Hall of Famer by the time his career was over. He was a fast runner, stole a lot of bases, later showed some power, and a pretty good outfielder. This is Scott Sanderson's rookie card, and he's pictured with Detroit here. Don't remember who he played for the most, but he had a couple decent years in the 80s. And this is Pedro Guerrero's rookie card. Both Rudy Lull and Joe Simpson did play through parts of the 80s, but this is the big name on this one is Pedro Guerrero. Had really good. He started off like it took a while before he became a full-time player. It seemed like he was in minors over and over and over and got called up at the end. And then one year they brought him in and he just started hitting and he never went back down again after that. And he had power and batting average. Had a little bit attitude issues, I think, later on that caused some rifts with teammates and things like that. He went to the Cardinals and had a couple more years, but I think injuries plagued him at the end, and so he didn't quite have the Hall of Fame numbers. There were more than one record breaker card, but this is the only one I pulled. I think some of the other players on the other record breakers were not stars of any kind, but this was the most notable one. And this is the modern National League record for most consecutive games batting safely. And I think, 44. He did 44. Here's Fred Lynn. Second year card of Lance Parrish. Here's an early one of Bruce Sutter, and that one is really off center. It's almost cutting off the design at the bottom, and you can see up at the top the beginning of the next card on the sheet. The back is also kind of really badly centered too. There's Dave Concepcion and Dave Parker and Ken Griffey Sr. And this is Dale Murphy's third year card, but the first card where he is the sole player on it. His previous two cards he appeared on 4-player rookie cards 2 years in a row. And they see him as catcher first base on there. He would soon be converted into an outfield and actually win some gold gloves, I believe, out in the outfield. And was one of the best sluggers of the 80s and probably should be in the Hall of Fame. There's Hall of Famer Robin Yount. Hall of Famer Andre Dawson. Hall of Famer Rod Carew. And they had this subset within the collection called All-Time Record Holders, and they would list the season and career holders of those records. And back in 1979, it was Nolan Ryan and Walter Johnson for career and strikeouts. Earned run average was Dutch Leonard and Walter Johnson. Wins, Jack Chesbro and Cy Young. And I think Jack had 41 wins in 1904. Imagine somebody doing that nowadays. Lou Brock is both the season and career holder in stolen bases at this point. He had broken Ty Cobb's the career number the season prior. These would both be broken by Ricky Henderson's the season in the 80s, and I don't remember when he broke the career one. It might have been in the 90s. Batting average, Rogers Hornsby and Ty Cobb. Those are both records that will probably never be approached. Home runs, Roger Maris and Hank Aaron both have been surpassed. Probably with the use of some PEDs. Runs batted in, Hack Wilson and Hank Aaron, and Hack Wilson's record was 190. I believe that has been adjusted to 191. They must have found another RBI they missed. In hits, George Sisler and Ty Cobb, and this is no longer the record for either one. The season is now Ichiro, and the career is Pete Rose. And here's Barry Bonds' father, Bobby Bonds, when he was with the Rangers. Tommy John. Second year card for Hall of Famer Jack Morris. Yeah, that one's really off center. Willie Randolph. Rich Gossage. Looks like he's throwing himself off the pitcher's mound. Hall of Famer Willie McCovey. And this is Carney Lansford's rookie card. He had quite a few decent years in the 80s. He was best known as a high average hitter. I think he led the league in batting one year. And as you can see, that one is really off center. It's not quite as bad on the back, but still off center. There's Denny Martinez and Hall of Famer Johnny Bench. Hall of Famer Don Sutton. Dwight Evans. Second year card of Lou Whitaker. Hall of Famer Tom Seaver. Hall of Famer Willie Stargell. Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley. Hall of Famer Steve Carlton. Hall of Famer Joe Morgan. So there are lots of Hall of Famers in this set. Hall of Famer Dave Winfield. Steve Garvey, who is Hall of Fame worthy but not in there. Hall of Famer George Brett. Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt. And Pete Rose. Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan. Hall of Famer and second year card of Alan Trammell. Hall of Famer and second year card of Paul Molitor. And Hall of Famer and second year card of Eddie Murray. And the most important card of the set is Hall of Fame rookie card of Ozzie Smith, back when he was at the Padres. And the problem with my Ozzie Smith is he's got surface creases in the bottom of the card. I think the glare is kind of hard to see, and a rather significant corner bump. Okay, and if it wasn't for that, this would be probably a pretty decent looking card. It doesn't look like the crease goes all the way through the card. I think it's just on the surface. There might be a little bit of sign of that there. Yeah, I think there is right here. And sadly, I don't know how that happened with the card. I think it must have been in the hand collated set this way. But back then, I think the Ozzie Smith rookie card when I bought this was probably a $10 card, and I probably should have looked for a replacement, and I didn't, and now it's a lot more expensive. Maybe someday I'll find another one to replace this one with. But that is the 1979 Top Set. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please click like. If you find my content interesting, or you like some of the weird stuff that we do here and there on this channel, I'd be happy to have you as a subscriber, and you can be ring that bell thing, whatever that is, and you can be notified when I load videos. Right now, I've been loading them about once a day. I had a lot of material piled up since I started back in the hobby in the fall of 2021, and I've acquired quite a few things between then and starting my video recording in August. But I will run out of that at some point, and I may have to pare the videos back to one every 2 or 3 days, because, well, there's just not enough supply to meet the demand of the videos. So, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you all have a great day. If you're down in the dumps, you need something to cheer yourself up, open up a pack of baseball cards. It should help. Take care, everyone. Beep, beep.